Hey there, Craig Adamson, your NAIFA-Iowa Advocacy and Political Action Committee Chair, here to deliver a time-sensitive message to great members like yourself. Now, don't be hitting the stop button just yet. I can hear the collective groan from across the state from members just like you watching this video. Adamson, hitting me up for more money and telling me to call my congressman and blah, 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 blah. Look, I get it. Not everyone is into this whole advocacy thing as I am. You don't have to be all geeked up about this stuff. I am. I'm not asking you to be that way. But I am asking you to think. Think about what's happening to your business and the financial services industry while you're meeting with your clients or running a business. You need to start paying attention and caring today. And here's why. Let me share with you a few important points you may not be aware of. There are some really well-meaning, but candidly, really dumb people in Congress. And when I say dumb, I don't mean they're actually stupid, but there is a case that could be made for some of them, but I digress. What I mean is they're being pulled 1,000 different directions each day. It's why you have people voting on bills they haven't read yet. Clearly, most of them are completely ignorant of personal finance and how financial products work. Look at how they manage the federal budget. Do you think these people are good at math? I'm sure that comes as a shock to you, right? That Congress is ignorant? But most of them truly have no idea what a financial advisor or an insurance agent even does. Many of them don't even have a financial advisor or insurance agent themselves. And if they're like most Americans who don't work with somebody like you, a smart, caring, licensed financial advisor or insurance agent, they probably don't have the right insurance coverage or have their own money, or maybe they don't even have their money properly invested for retirement. And quite frankly, it could be both of those things. Secondly, there are people in Congress who hate you. Why? I'm not really sure. I think it's because they don't understand what you do for your clients. And they are probably jealous that you are a trusted resource, and they can never be that. Sadly, in many cases, they think you're a crook or a scammer like Bernie Madoff. And even if you aren't a crook, they don't care. They think, actually, they know they are smarter than you. And they can help your clients better than you can. They don't respect what you do for a living. So they are going to use their power and control to regulate what you do, how much money you can make, and hopefully put you out of business. Lastly, Congress can't put all their rules into effect without help. So there's a whole bureaucracy, largely made up of employees of each of the departments, such as the Department of Labor, who work on this stuff day in and day out. And some of them have become very comfortable in enacting rules and regulations that are not voted on by Congress. But they are given many powers by Congress to regulate our industry, and in some cases prefer to go beyond their powers to do as they see fit unless someone shines a light on their overreach. How do I know this? Because NAIFA has a group of full-time lobbyists working in Congress on issues that affect your clients. So they know what's going on, and they tell you about it in the bazillion emails you get each week from National. How else do I know? Since becoming a NAIFA member, I've gone to Washington, D.C. probably close to 15 times myself in the last 8 years. When NAIFA goes, or when NAIFA-Iowa goes, I make it a priority to go too. I value my membership and what it does for protecting my business. I even went to D.C. when I was a brand new member, and I really had no idea what NAIFA was or what you people even stood for, but I went anyway. Man, am I glad I went. I was curious about NAIFA's power, and I've seen it firsthand. We have members of our organization appearing before Congress and the Department of Labor to give testimony on various legislative or administrative actions that are detrimental to your business and your clients' futures. Now, you can pretend that the political process doesn't matter, like a lot of other advisors, frankly, non-NAIFA members in particular, talk about being ignorant. People in our own profession might be more ignorant than members of Congress. I was. I've been an advisor for almost 30 years now, and I had not even heard of NAIFA until 8 or 9 years ago when I joined. And just like when you played make-believe when you were a little kid, it's just not reality. This matters. Pretending politics doesn't matter doesn't make it so. You cannot wish this away. Engaging in the political process is your new reality. You own a business, and you have clients who depend on you to advocate for them. This is grown-up time. Even the Bible references this in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 11. When I was a child, I talked like a child. I thought like a child. I reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I put the ways of childhood behind me. What do I mean? Inactive, inattentive NAIFA members, as well as NAIFA members not actively contributing to the PAC, is what got us Obamacare. It's what got us Secure Act and Secure 2.0. It's what made indexed annuities a security instead of an insurance-only product. At the state level here in Iowa, it's what got us a jacked-up 403B plan that's now run, very poorly I might add, by the state of Iowa. And right now, it might get you a greatly expanded and destructive fiduciary rule that will put many of our members out of business, possibly in the next 2 years. Now, you can tell yourself that you don't need to make any additional investment in your business by making a voluntary contribution to IFAPAC, and that there's too much money in politics, or money in politics is dirty. What does that even mean? The real issue is when you don't contribute to help pro-NAIFA legislators get elected, you run the risk of getting bad legislators, or being represented by good legislators that just don't care about your issues, or even talking to you because they didn't get help, or because you didn't even help them get elected. Fortunately, these are problems that can be met head-on with solutions based on your NAIFA membership and your contributions each month to NAIFA's Political Action Committee. Now, what does that look like? Well, for starters, take a day off from work to come to Des Moines during the legislative session. Every year we lay out the dates well in advance. Typically we're meeting on President's Day. While the weather in Iowa isn't great in February, we've had some actually really excellent weather the last 2 or 3 years. And even when the weather hasn't been normal, we have members from Sioux City, Fort Dodge, Sheldon, Waterloo, Cedar Rapids, Davenport. They're able to make it over to meet with legislators, and specifically they're meeting with leadership from both major parties, both Republicans and Democrats. Now what that tells me is this is important work, and if those members can drive 3 hours to be there, then others can set their alarm 30 minutes earlier to get to the Capitol from West Des Moines. Those investments in time and money have led to ongoing improvements to the 403B plan. In fact, several of our members, Bosch Financial Group, Neil Wilkinson, Dick Dobson, are actively working with the legislator and the Department of Administrative Services to improve product offerings and expand enrollment options. NAIFA also helped pass bills making it a punishable crime to commit a crime or defraud seniors in financial transactions. We helped pass a bill that made pension income, Social Security income, and retirement distributions tax-free for retirees over the age of 55. No more Iowans needing to move to Texas or Florida to escape income taxes in retirement. Additionally, Barry Johnson and myself went to the state treasurer's office back in August to discuss ways of expanding and improving the deductibility and investment choices in the advisor-sold 529 plan. I'll actually be on the phone this week with executives, an executive VP from Voya Investments, to discuss our proposals in more detail. Of course, on the federal side, besides fighting an unnecessary and destructive expansion to the fiduciary rule that NAIFA helped defeat in court in 2017, we are pushing back on the Department of Labor for wanting to make independent insurance and financial advisors employees of the companies they do business with. Imagine being an independent advisor like me, having to be an employee of my broker-dealer, along with 20 insurance companies, 40 investment companies, all the companies I do business with. That'll be 61 W-2 forms for me to file. If that happens, will the DOL help me find a way for those 61 companies to pay for my rent, my staff's wages, my licensing, my NAIFA membership, and my PAC contribution? While lost on those of you who weren't engaged, Did you know that NAIFA helped stop the stretch IRA from being completely eliminated during the Secure Act? Our regular visit to Senator Grassley's office when he was chair of the Senate Finance Committee gave us an inside view of the bill during its formation and negotiations. We found out why this was proposed and were able to keep the stretch IRA from being eliminated completely and expanded back to 10 years. Not perfect. We felt it should stay as it was, stretch over a beneficiary's lifetime. But at least 10 years was an option that made it available so it wouldn't steal inherited IRA dollars from heirs almost immediately. This at least gives us some time to do some proactive planning. Those are just some of the recent examples of why you need to start caring. We NAIFA members like you to be more engaged. Not every second of every day do you need to be engaged, but for 10 or 15 minutes a week. Make sure your membership hasn't lapsed with an expired credit card. Make sure you are signed up at the bare minimum contribution level of $10 a month. If you've been in this business longer than 3 years, then $10 a month is no longer a big ask. And for those of you that have been in 5 years or more, it's time to step up to $25 a month. For those of you in the business longer than 10 years, I think it's obvious you should be looking at $50 or $100 a month as a small investment in your business. No different than having a good internet connection or a smartphone data plan. Your dollars help us get seats at the right table when legislation is going down. It's how we've been able to block the previous state treasurer from bringing a state-run retirement bill, such as the ones you hear about in Oregon, California, and Illinois. States who, unlike Iowa, we just don't want to emulate those people for multiple financial reasons. Your dollars go to create relationships with both parties. Right-wing Republican? Too bad. Some of your PAC money is going to go to Democrats who support NAIFA. Left-wing Democrat? Too bad. Some of your PAC money is going to support Republicans who support NAIFA. So hardcore you just can't see the importance of being nonpartisan? Okay, put 100% of your money in the administrative fund. None of those dollars can be used for political purposes, but it does help us defray travel expenses, pay for mailers and advertising events and in-district meetings with legislators from both parties. Vote how you want, but help NAIFA shape policy that directly impacts your business and your clients. No more excuses, no more pretending. It's grown-up time. Time to stand in the gap for your clients, your family, and yourself. Join me and make your IFAPAC contribution today. Thank you.